A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew. Let us be attentive. Now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem, saying, "Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we saw his star in the east, and have come to worship him." When Herod the king heard this, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. Gathering together all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Messiah was to be born. They said to him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for this is what has been written by the prophet. And you, Bethlehem, land of Judah, are by no means least among the leaders of Judah, for out of you shall come forth a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel." Then Herod secretly called the Magi and determined from them the exact time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search carefully for the child, and when you have found him, report to me, so that I too may come and worship him." After hearing the king, they went their way, and the star which they had seen in the east went on before them, until it came and stood over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced exceedingly with great joy. After coming into the house, they saw the child with Mary his mother, and they fell to the ground and worshipped him. Then, opening their treasures, they presented to him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned by God in a dream not to return to Herod, the Magi left for their own country by another way. Glory to Jesus Christ. My dear online parishioners, Christ is among us. We say this word in our Byzantine tradition, in our Byzantine liturgy. Many times when people approach each other, they will say, "Christ is among us." When we approach the priest to receive the sign of Christ on our forehead, in the tradition of Mirovania, we say, "Christ is among us," and the reply is, "Indeed he is, and he shall be." More than in any other day of the year, today this word, this exclamation is really coming true. We are witnessing today the arrival, appearance of Christ, the King, God, on this earth. Today's Gospel gives us an example. It tells us one of the ways people can face God. We hear about the reaction of King of Judea, the King into whose land the King of the universe, the King of everything, the ruler of everything, including this King, has arrived. And we hear about his reaction. Christ is among us. What does that mean? We will repeat many carols today. We say in our at the end of our celebration of Christmas, we say a new greeting. The whole year we greet each other saying, "Glory to Jesus Christ." But in the season of Christmas, we say, "Christ is born. Glorify him." And actually, this is the answer. What is our reaction to King of everything arriving into our lives? We are here today. We are in the church today, we are praying today, we are turning to God today to acknowledge His presence. And we acknowledge the presence not of an infant, of a child, even though He appears to be that. We do not acknowledge a presence of another human being, even though a great one, even though He is a human being. Not only that, we acknowledge the arrival into our lives of King of the universe, of the person who is the most powerful of anybody that we know. Is this the way we live our lives? As though Christ the Lord is the King of everything. We see in today's gospel also that king of this world, Herod, is trying to persecute Jesus from the very first moment he knew of his existence. He's trying to weasel out the information about his whereabouts from the Magi's. Later on we will hear about him sending out his soldiers and trying to kill Jesus by eliminating every single child in his land. Isn't it what happens in our world today? Yes, it has improved. Christianity now is the largest community in the world. Literally, more than a billion of Christians are coming today to Christ to venerate Him. But still in this world, there are political systems, there are social systems that will persecute Christ, and through Him, religion, belief in the truth, belief in the King of this universe, in many different ways. And most of the times, especially in modern days, not in physical ways, but in ways that are much worse. In how many countries, in the schools, children are not allowed to hear about God? Aren't they as good as being killed for the truth? Yes, they will live. They will live in a materialistic, consumistic world that has killed the truth. How many people around the world will take their time, hours and hours of time celebrating Christmas, just brooding over how little they got or how much they got? How many of the gifts that we are given or the gifts that we give will expire after a day or two or a month? How do we greet the King of universe that is present in our lives? Today we celebrate His arrival into this world in a bodily human form. Today we should think about how do we celebrate His presence in our lives, in our jobs, in our families. How is He ruling us? And are we subjecting ourselves to His rule? Christ is born. Glorify Him.